Hello YouTube reseller mom here. Welcome to today's video. This is a much anticipated video that I've been trying to piece together for you guys for a bit here. It is currently July 7th, 2021, and a few people have asked about applications for selling on Walmart. Now, I have been approved to sell on Walmart since last year with my Shopify account. And I recently did another application this year to try and sell my Amazon account. Long story short, there is having two accounts on Walmart would be very tricky, so I'm still working through the bugs there. But as I went through and did my other application, I did screenshots so that I could walk you through kind of how I filled things out. So thank you for joining me on this video. If you like this content, if it helped you out at all, please give the video a thumbs up. It helps me out. So let's get started here. I'd like to start with saying that I am not a CPA. I cannot give you legal advice. I am not an expert at anything, and how my business is set up may be different than yours, but I'm going to walk you through what I did, and then you need to take this information, see if it applies to your situation and if it can help you out at all. My channel is there to help people out, and if you have anything that's helpful, go ahead and post it down in the comments. If you have any questions, post it down in the comments, and I'll try my best to help you out. So selling on Walmart can be another source of income. It is probably the fastest growing platform right now going on, and it's very attractive to Amazon sellers like myself because Amazon can have it can be difficult. Amazon is that high maintenance person that can be very difficult, so I like to keep my options open for selling on other places. Last year when I started my Shopify site, there's a company that will integrate into Walmart so that your items, your print-on-demand items, can be sold on Walmart. But I'd also like to keep it open for maybe selling private label or just replens and things like that. When I do source for Amazon to sell on Amazon, I do not use third-party sellers. Do not do that. Do not source from other third-party sellers to sell on Amazon because that will not hold up if you have problems with your Amazon account. That was kind of a sidebar. So this is the first kind of page on the Walmart application site. It's a request to sell application. When you get done with this request to sell, they may have additional things that you need to do. You may get an email that says something like, congratulations, we just need you to sign this or do this or finish doing something. And your application is moving along. It's in pending, but until you get the official, you're going to be in kind of an application status. Their customer service reps will get back to you with questions and stuff. So if you have questions, you can email them. It's not the fastest system. Most of my responses have taken about 48 hours to get responded to. And I'm going to show you my response on the question I asked them on if I could have two different Walmart accounts. I have that at the end of this video. So this first section is pretty self-explanatory. They're going to want your first name, your last name, your address, your email address, confirm your email address. There's going to be a reCAPTCHA, I think I'm saying that right, reCAPTCHA thing where you have to identify, I want to say it was sidewalks or motorcycles or buses or something, but you pretty much click on that and then you're going to select the pictures of whatever it says. So if it says select the pictures that have fire hydrants, you select those. It's basically making sure that you're not a robot. As far as job title, for wholesale applications and different applications across the board, I usually put either owner or manager or procurer, logistics, something like that, depending on the application. When I'm doing wholesale applications, sometimes it sounds better if you are the manager or, the purchaser of the company versus the owner. But most of the times I'll put owner. For Walmart, I just put owner. And yes, this application did get approved. So what I put was kind of what they were looking for. That doesn't mean that if you have something else that's not what they're looking for as well. But, this worked for me. Hopefully it can work for you. As far as name and emails go, I do have a business email account. It's just a Gmail. Some people recommend getting a more professional email address. I've been doing this for years. I haven't needed it for what I'm doing, but again, maybe you will have something that's a little bit different that you want to do. For first name, last name, it needs to be kind of what matches up with your taxes. What they're trying to do is verify that all your ducks are in a row. So if you have married and maybe have a different last name or haven't filed everything with a new last name, etc., just make sure you get all that kind of lined up before you start doing these types of applications. For down here, what is your preferred tax classification for your company? I am filing under an LLC and I use a W-9. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. I've never done a W-8 ECI. I don't know what it is. This would be kind of a good question for your CPA or Google or a tax person or whoever knows or has helped you out with setting up your company if you have gotten help. I did all my setup for the first 5 years, and I recently now have a CPA that helps me out with all of those types of questions. So country of incorporation, United States, and state, I think I took the screenshot right before I selected that, but select the state that you're in. If you do need a W-9, this is actually a lot easier than you may be thinking. Just Google W-9 taxpayer identification paperwork. You'll find this form on the web. You can print it out or have it, just print it out, fill it out, and then I use Dropbox to scan it and upload it as a PDF. I think that looks the most professional, and Dropbox is pretty much free, and it's probably one of the best free things you should have on your phone. I use it all the time for different credit card authorization forms, wholesaler forms, this type of form, anything that I need to scan a document and then email it to somebody. So very handy to have on the phone. You're going to fill out your name. It's going to be the same as your income tax return. Your business name, if it's different, which it probably is. I have set up again as an LLC. I did that by just doing the form myself online. The address is going to be, again, what your business address is. Your EIN is going to be your business EIN. If you are doing your Social Security and filing under that, then use your Social Security number right here. And then you're going to sign and date and then upload and save. When you scroll down a little bit, you've got some more information here to fill out. Country of incorporation, we already talked about that. Legal company name, and then any DBAs, doing business as. For my business, I have one main name, and then we have several DBAs. For my print-on-demand t-shirt store is one, my eBay store is another, just to keep everything separate. So however you set up your business, if everything's the same name, that's fine. If you have a couple DBAs, that's fine as well. I only wrote the ones that were kind of applicable to Walmart. They didn't need to know all of my DBAs. In my opinion, I just put the ones that were applicable to online selling. For a DUNS number, I'm going to show you how to get that in just a minute. Are you publicly traded? Most of us are not, so you're just going to say no. Your U.S. tax EIN number, we're going to talk about that in a minute, and you're a foundation. For documents, you're going to upload the two major ones, which is the W-9 we just went over, and the EIN we're going to talk about in next, maybe the next slide or the next slide. Getting a DUNS number. This is what I did. I went to dnb.com and created an account and was issued a DUNS number. I did this years ago. I made the account. They sent me the number. I have that in my files or whatnot. Some places require a DUNS number, some don't. I would say it's probably the least asked for type of number, but Walmart wanted one and I have one, so I went ahead and gave them one. I did want to create this so that in the future when I apply for loans or credit or things like that, my business starts accumulating business credit. To get an EIN number, just Google get an EIN number and you will find this. It will be the top hit. and it's for a IRS federal tax ID application. You use your EIN for a lot of things, so this should be something that you get kind of in the beginning of your business, because you're going to use that to get your business banking account, your reseller permit. A lot of wholesale applications are going to need an EIN. It's really easy to get. The first thing you need to do is figure out what kind of organization you are. If you're an individual sole proprietor, if you're going to set up as an LLC. So spend a little bit of time figuring out what is the best for you, and then applying for an EIN number. I believe I have been an LLC for a long time, and I believe next year I might be switching to an S Corp. So if I go through the change process, I will let you guys know how painful that is, or if it's pretty easy. But for EIN numbers, I did an LLC setup. You can do an individual sole proprietor. Any which way, get your EIN number. Once you get that EIN number, you're going to get a little letter from the Department of Treasury, and it will simply tell you your EIN number. All of these kind of important documents I keep handy and keep the numbers handy so that when I'm filling out forms, it makes my life handy, and then I keep the originals tucked away in a nice secure place in the house here. The next page is going to ask you some things about your company. This is what I put out, and I don't want to say, you don't want to lie on these applications, but sometimes telling them exactly can be a little bit difficult, because I don't know exactly what I'm going to be selling next year or this year or whatnot. So I kind of just made the best decisions for what my business is right now. Am I transporting goods from another country? Not really. I usually buy all of United States stuff. I don't really have plans to be sourcing on Alibaba right now, but that's me. If you are sourcing from another country, you may want to click on this little information thing and see if that's what applies to you and your business. Am I selling any of these categories right here? Software, fragrances, luxury brands, cell phones, jewelry. What they're looking for, in my opinion, I don't work at Walmart, so I couldn't tell you exactly, but based on this question and this question, they're looking to see if you are an overseas person trying to sell knockoff brands and, a fly-by-night place. We've all seen those companies set up, sell a bunch of iPhone cases or knockoff Louis Vuittons, and then they're gone the next day, and they have wreaked havoc and really messed up it for the rest of us. I mean, even eBay is starting to have a luxury brand authenticity program to try and curb those knockoffs, man. It's just really bad. For online revenue, I put 400,000. This last year I did over 340,000. I'm pretty sure I'm going to hit well over 40,000, but I wasn't comfortable with 50,000. So that's just where I'm at. Select the highest performing category. I put ladies apparel because I do sell a lot of bras and pants, and that is one of my best performing categories that made sense on this drop down list. Catalog size, I went and looked at how many ASINs I have over, and just said about 200. I'm guesstimating there. I don't think they're going to really sit back and look at these types of numbers. They're kind of gauging to see if you're a good fit to Walmart and if that's something that they want in their, if you're the type of seller they're looking to add. These next couple of questions, again, I answered them to the best of my knowledge for what I sell. What percent of SKUs are refurbished? I don't sell refurbished items. So 0% there. If you are a person that fixes up phones or laptops, then you may want to answer this differently. But for most of online sellers that are like me, it's going to be 0%. What percent of your SKUs do not have valid UPC codes? For my Amazon stuff, that'd be 0. When I answered it for my t-shirt store, I also put 0 because I bought barcodes with Said Commerce, which does the integration for my Shopify store into Walmart. From those barcodes, they worked on Amazon, that purchase, up until April this last year, April 2021. Amazon cracked down on barcodes and no longer will accept the ones from said commerce on Amazon, and you have to get GS1 barcodes. I've been reading some threads, and some people say it's cheaper to buy GS1 barcodes from .uk versus whatever US is, probably .com. I don't know if that's the case or not. Sorry, little tangent on UPC codes here. But for most people that are selling on Walmart, you are going to say 100% of your items have valid UPC codes. If you're doing private label or getting your own items or whatnot, then you are going to need to look at purchasing barcodes. There are barcodes that are cheaper than buying them at the GS1s that will work on Walmart. However, you got to take that all with a grain of salt. Amazon used to accept those up until recently. Now they don't. I would hate for you to watch this video in 3 months' time, buy the cheaper barcodes, and then wind up not having them work. What percent of SKUs are used? For my business, pretty much 0. I don't really sell used items, nor do I plan to on Walmart. Now, some people do a great business of selling used books. So, you know what? If you are 100% used books, then you may want to say, 100% of your SKUs are used. So, answer that to the best of your knowledge. Specify your information for other retail marketplaces. I gave them my Amazon store and my eBay store. When I did my Shopify application, all I did was give them my Shopify store. And to find your Amazon store link, you go into Seller Central. Up in the right, you go to account information. And then it's up on the left, you can find your links to your store. But it's basically www.amazon.com/your store name is the basic format. eBay, same thing. You can find your store name there and your website. If you want to add more stores, you can. Now, I want to talk about this for just a second. Some people are saying on the boards that they've gotten denied just using their Amazon store. If you are, just hitting rock bottom walls, a lot of people do get approved with Shopify stores. To set up a basic Shopify store and buy a domain, you're looking at maybe a few hours of your time and probably less than $20 to buy a domain, buy a Shopify store, subscription of some sort, and set up a default Shopify store. Go ahead and build the back end showing, maybe like 10, 20 of your items, and then using that Shopify store to apply and get into Walmart. As far as I can tell, once you get into Walmart and do your application and it's approved, they aren't going to go back and really look at anything. So it's just for the approval process. But again, that's my opinion and experience, so take it however you want. Are you planning to integrate with Walmart? Your choices are using a solution provider or direct API or Seller Central. I did not plan on using solution providers, so I chose direct API or Seller Central. I was planning on selling kind of merchant fulfilled items that I'm already doing on Amazon, just cross-posting them over to Walmart. For solutions providers, I have heard rumor that if you select the Deliver program, that's Walmart's delivery service for kind of like FBA, but what theirs is called is Deliver, that if you select that, people have gotten their applications approved right away. So if you want to do that, go for it. Just trying to show you all the little tricks that I've heard or seen that may help you with your application. Next question that you have to select is current shipping methods. Select all that apply. I chose UPS and USPS. Those are the two main shipping services that I use. FedEx would be great if I were shipping big, large items. DHL is not really, I don't really use them. FBA, I feel like might be a trick question, and I would have to look up the exact terms of service for selling on Walmart. I know that on Amazon, you cannot drop ship from Walmart.com to your Amazon customers. That is against terms of service. Pretty sure Walmart doesn't want you drop shipping to Walmart customers with your FBA items, But you know what? You can Google that if that's what your business is pretty much going to do. Make sure you're not violating anybody's service terms. And those service terms can change over the years. If they have problems, they can change their rules at any time. And if you were kind of on the fence, I wouldn't select it. I don't think it adds any value, and I don't really think it's a good business practice, but that's my opinion. Warehouse address. This was my home address. My business address and my warehouse address and everything is just my home address. So put that in. If you need to add other locations, add other locations, such as if you were going to have a third party pack and ship your items, and there are third party places that will do merchant fulfilling type of things, that I'm sure they'll do it for Walmart. If they do it for Amazon, you may want to add that location in there too. And then it says, why would you be a good fit for Walmart? I just put the truth and kind of, made it sound really good. I'm not really a fluffy, lovey person on these types of things, but I put that I've been selling full-time online since 2015. I love Walmart and would like to expand my products to their customers. Thank you. Walmart, just like Amazon, is a love-hate, so I went with whatever sounded the best that I thought the representative on the other end would like to know. And, you write down something that makes you, that they're going to look at and see that you're going to be a good fit with Walmart. Don't put that I'm an overseas drop shipper selling knockoffs. That's going to not be good. You want to have something that's going to sound good to the representative looking at your application. You also really don't want to be an overseas shipper doing drop shipping to Walmart customers. Please don't. Please don't. It ruins it for everybody here. So I emailed Walmart after getting approved for my account, and I was trying to get 2 separate accounts because I want to keep my t-shirt business completely separate from the items I sell on Amazon. And when I'm selling grocery items or, bottles of shampoos or something, I don't think it really matches up with my t-shirt company. So I don't want it when people look at my store to see all of the eclectic stuff. I want them just to see t-shirts when they're on Walmart. So I asked if I could have 2 accounts. This is what I got directly from the source, from Trust and Safety from Walmart, on if I could have 2 accounts. And they said both accounts must have separate items, tax IDs, EINs, and addresses associated with the separate accounts. So that is something that I may need to go in and look at to see if I can change the EIN for my shirt store, how much of a pain in the butt that would be. Right now, it's kind of too big of a pain of a butt for me to go down that, but as I grow and stuff, that might be something that I do. That is it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If it helped you out at all, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, if you have any insight to what we talked about, or if you feel that I may have missed something, go ahead and leave that down below in the comments so that we can all benefit and learn. My channel is to help you guys out and help all the sellers out. So if I've helped you out, awesome. Take care, guys.